Good morning, everyone. Today's Tech Take is recorded because of other events that are going on in the school. So I hope you enjoy this video and that it gives you the opportunity to pause when you need to and re-watch sections that you might need to watch. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your Google Drive organization, especially since this is the end of the year. As you are getting ready to turn in your computers and move on to the next grade level, it's important that you still keep your materials organized. Some people have mentioned to me that they thought all of their Google materials are deleted every year, and that's not the case. Everything that you have created in your Google Drive stays in your Google Drive until you do something with it. And since you are ending your current year, you might want to organize everything into a single folder so that if you need to access it later on, you'll have access. Now, first of all, I'm at the simple Google search page, and the only reason I'm here is just so that you can quickly look to see who you are logged in as. Now, I am logged in obviously as my school person, my school account. While I'm talking about this, it's very important that the only profile you have signed in on your school Google is your school account. Sometimes having multiple accounts logged in at the same time can cause glitches, especially when you're trying to access forms, or particularly next year when you're going to be accessing Schoology, our new learning management platform. So keep that in mind, not to actually have your Gmail account profile saved on your Chrome browser. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to want to go to your Drive. A couple ways to access that. Obviously, you could type in Drive right up here, drive.google.com. Another way is also to use this apps array and go to Google Drive. But once you get there, you're going to see all of your materials. Now, my own professional use, I try to keep things nice and organized into things that I need while I go. But for you as a student, things that you put in here are going to be, based by year. So perhaps you have material from your 5th grade or 6th grade or 7th grade year, depending on what grade you're currently in, and maybe it already is organized. But this is an opportunity to help you develop the skills to stay organized as you move forward. So first thing I would do is create a new folder, and I would call it something to the extent of 2015-16 or school year 2015-16 or 8th grade year, something so that you know what year it was and possibly what grade level you were in there. Once you've created this folder, any folders that you have that relate to this current school year, you can click on one and just drag it right inside. So all I did was click on it once and then click and hold and drag it right inside the folder. You can see how it looks like it's getting ready to move in. And when I drop it, then it moves right inside. Now you can do the same thing with multiple folders by having the first one selected. And if all of these folders related to this current school year, go to the bottom one that you wanted, hold down the Shift key and click, and it will select all of them all the way down. And then you can drag this whole section or this whole group of folders into your 8th grade or your 2015-16 folder. If there's a folder in here perhaps that you don't want to move into that folder, holding down the Control button and selecting it will deselect it from the selection that you have. And then the ones that are remaining you can drag into your 8th grade folder. And so then when you go into your 8th grade folder, you would have your English class, your science class, your math class, all of those folders that you might have created during the year in your 8th grade folder. Now, same thing can go backwards. If you realize you have a folder here that shouldn't be in there, just take it, click on it, click and hold, and then drag it back to your My Drive here on the side and drop it, and it will put it back out on the main Drive screen. Okay, so another question that came up was about individual documents disappearing. Now, anything that's in here and you see owner says me, those are things that you created, and you are the only person who can delete this item. Now, another folder that I have for my own job is some agendas for different meetings that I have. And you can see here that I am not the owner for any of these documents. So if the owner decided to delete that item, then I would no longer have access to it whatsoever. So it's important that if you do want to keep something that was shared with you, you can say, for instance, I wanted all of these, and I wanted to keep them to make sure that I always had access to it. I can right-click on the selected folders, right-click on the selected folders, and select Make a Copy. And when this makes a copy, these copies will always be mine and no one will be able to delete them. And you can see Google going through the process of making the copies for me. Okay, now I actually don't want these, so I'm going to select them. And this is something else that you can do. If you decide there is something that you no longer want, you can right-click on it and select Remove. And that will take things to the trash, which is located right here on the side. Now, if you delete something that belongs to someone else, if I deleted this item, and Amy Owens is the owner, it actually will not delete it from her account, but what it will do is remove it from my view in my folder. So it's very important to understand the difference there. If you own it, if you delete it, it goes into your trash. Okay? If you do not own it and you remove it, then it takes it away, just away from your view, but the person who owns it still has access to it. Okay, so just a quick recap. In your Drive, first of all, you're going to, obviously do this from your school account. You're going to select all of the folders that you want to include in, in this move. And then use the control key to deselect things you don't want to move. Then you'll click and drag the selected items into your 2015-2016 folder, and then you'll be set. Make sure that if there's things that you have that aren't yours, these are all mine. If there's things you have that were in your folders that maybe were shared with you rather than you owning them, then you might need to make a copy to ensure that you always have access to it. Okay, I hope this helps you as you end your school year for 2015-2016 and then start a brand new year in the fall. Thanks so much. Have a great day.